We live. We live. This your boy TNT Barbecue. You know, guys, I always bring you hitters. When I say hitters, I'm gonna talk a little bit before I truly introduce them because I want more people to join in first because I'm bringing you a hitter from the competition world, from the YouTube world, from down south by the way of Minnesota, the the competition, professional competition team. And guys, I'm telling you what, this is Machete Boys BBQ. I told y'all I was gonna bring you a heavy hitter. The heavy hitter is here. Machete Boys BBQ, man. He actually my kinfolk, guys, but he gonna tell you the story further down the line. You have to stay tuned so you can hear the story how we met. But I'm telling you guys, y'all know I don't overtalk my guests. I want my guests to show their butts because they deserve it. Guys, he has a YouTube channel. He has Instagram. He has all the information that's in the highlighted areas. And this is a YouTube channel. So, David, man, why don't you go ahead and hit us up, man? Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a lot about you. Tell us about how you got into barbecue game. Tell us just what would you tell somebody that you're introducing yourself to? Go ahead and introduce yourself to my family on YouTube.
Yeah, fantastic, T. I appreciate the introduction, man. It's great to catch up with you and see you. We don't see each other in a minute, but my name is David Ellis. I am pit boss of Machete Boys BBQ. As T mentioned, we got roots from the same hometown, way down in Florida, from a little town called and that's where my grandparents are from, and that's where a lot of our family from, and a strong history of barbecue comes from there. I've lived all over the world. Currently, I'm in Minneapolis. I've been here the last 15 years or so. And the last 10 years is really when my barbecue journey has started, right? But it's been a lifetime of learning. My grandfather was big into barbecue. My grandmother is big into barbecue. And for some reason, my mom didn't really know how to cook. So when we were living overseas in Europe, that's when I decided I needed to take dinner into my own hands and learn how to cook a little bit. So then I started playing with a rubber kettle. And that continued when we moved back here to the States. And, I was a young whippersnapper back then, about 20 or something. And, I just started cooking. But about 10 years ago, back when I was still up late at night and didn't have much going on, I was watching that, was that pitmasters barbecue show? With all the guys, you know what I'm talking about, with Darren Worth and Slacks and Jeff Van Randy, all those guys. And a young, cocky young man like myself thought, I could do that better than them. I could figure it out. Right? Yeah. Oh, so we got some echoes happening.
Do you got your YouTube up? You got any other?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Okay, let me.
Well, see, now I can't hear you at all.
I'm gonna mute myself while you talk. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
See if that stopped the echoing.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. So, getting back into that story about, it was probably about 10 years ago now. I was watching that show and thinking to myself, I could do better than them. I was looking for a hobby because I didn't have many other than, hanging out and chasing girls and things of that nature. And, barbecue was something I enjoyed at home with my backyard and my friends in the neighborhood. But it wasn't something I knew that existed on a competition level where I could go out and prove my skills. So I did a little research. I found the Minnesota Barbecue Society, and then I went and took a spring training class they have, which is kind of the intro to the KCBS barbecue world. There was a man there by the name of Larry Dolan who he was kind of like, hey, you want to cook? You come cook with me. So I headed out to my first competition shortly after that first class, and then I took a judging class and learned about what was happening on the other side, so that I could learn what marks I needed to hit to be able to be great and to be and to get my name out there and to prove to myself that this is a field that I can that I could excel in. So I cooked with Larry for a couple of competitions, and that following year, I believe it was 2016, I signed up for a backyard competition in Minnesota, and Machete Boys BBQ was born, and the rest is kind of history. That first year we won a couple of calls, but that second year we ended up walking away with Minnesota Backyard Team of the Year. Of course, then I was thinking, well, I mean, I conquered the backyard. It's time to jump on and try the pro side. So I jumped to the pro side, and that was a very steep learning curve. But that brings me to where I met T. And when you go to these competitions, there's not many people that look like us, right? So, I could see T was looking at me. I'm looking at T, and I'm like, who's this guy? He's like, who's that guy? But eventually, we ended up hooking up, and we went over there, and we started talking. And then I believe you actually called Alfred, one of our mutual cousins, and you were like, is this guy for real? Is he really from Royal in Florida? And so and so and blase. And we found out we had some of the family members, man. And that was very early in my professional barbecue career, right? I couldn't put together a call on the pro side consistently. There were still a lot of things that I needed to learn. There are still a lot of things that I'm trying to learn. But last year I feel like I finally put a little bit together. And we were able to walk away with 2 grand championships, numerous top 10 calls. We got down to the Royal last year, had a pretty good show, and I think we ended up finishing like 56 out of something like 500 teams, man, which was absolutely great for our first time out there, right? But building Machete Boys BBQ continued growing. As a result of me cooking more, the opportunity came for me to be able to teach barbecue as well. And I figured I found out that I really have a passion for sharing my knowledge with others, especially when it comes to barbecue. So in Minnesota here, last year alone, I offered 6 classes in partnership with the Smokestack Barbecue Supply Store, who sponsors my competition team. I went through a whole series of classes where we taught people how to grill chicken, and then we talked to people about how to grill ribs, and we talked about pork butts and briskets, and then I put on a turkey class, and then we spun that earlier this year, and we put it in a biscuit pastrami class. And I'm really out here, using my YouTube channel, using all my platforms to grow my brand and to get my name out there, right? And I absolutely appreciate this opportunity to come on and chop it up with you, right? You've been in this barbecue game far longer than I have, and right, you have tons of knowledge that you can share with me. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak to some of your followers and your crowd, and to get to know them too as well, man. So I appreciate you having me on here. But long story short, that's Machete Boys BBQ, right? It's only up from here, man. I feel like I'm just getting started, and I can't wait to see where we're next.
Hey guys, so talk to me about that grand champion. Go in detail. You mentioned I got 2 grand champions last year. So talk to me about the build up. Put yourself there. Talk as you are there right now. If you was in the meet, if you was in the scene, we could go back in time. All right, Machete Boys BBQ, Raw Roots, Wildwood, Florida Roots. Go back and tell us about how you were thinking. What was you thinking? How was you feeling? Was you confident, or was you scared, or was you nervous, or was you beat down, and you just needed it? You just needed that win. You just needed that. Was you Rocky, or was you Apollo Creed? Come on, let's talk.
Yeah, I feel you, man. So here's where I was right before that grand champion happened, right? We were probably about 10 competitions into our season. And I was cooking, we were cooking everything. I was cooking on the weekends, trying to figure out why my stuff wasn't hitting. Like, I could get the pork or the brisket would be on, but the chicken would be off. And it would just, to win in competition barbecue, you need to have an average cook, and you need to be consistent across the board. And, we drove all the way out to Hill City, South Dakota, man. Out in the sticks. And when I say out in the sticks, it was up in the mountains. It's up a lot of there, man. It was just absolutely just a crowd that I had never thought I'd find myself with, right? But there's a man up there in the hills. His name is Bobby Stanfield, man, and Bobby Stanfield ran BS Barbecue Outlaws for a very long time. He helps to put on this competition. And he saw me because we had seen each other in the past, and he was like, you know what, this is your weekend. And every time he saw me, every time he walked past my site this week, he was like, we put it together, right? We put it together, right? And I'm like, I'm out here doing the best I can. I'm cooking in altitude. I've never done that before. This is a different state, further west I've been before. All of the adversity that was out there, you know what I mean? Like when I woke up that morning, I put all that aside. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go out here and do what I do, right? Because when you're doing competition barbecue, you can only control so much, and you can only hone in and make sure that you put in your best product forward that you have, that you can to your skills on that day, right? But once that box goes in and it's no longer in your hands, then it's up to the judges, and it's all about that blind judges. And sometimes judges are having a bad day, just like cooks are having a bad day. But when we turned things in, man, I didn't think that things were phenomenal. I didn't think I had won the thing, right? Parked just a couple of rows down from me was Kit from Texas, and that man wins everything, man. He's been traveling around the country, cooks 40 contests a year, right? And he was over trying my food. I was trying some of his stuff, and he was like, "Oh man, this is pretty good." You know what I mean? You know how competition guys are. They blow you up a little bit, then they tear you down as soon as they walk away. But everything got turned in. We went and we sat down, and we're at that stage, man, and everybody, the awards start coming. I think we got a call in chicken, and then got the call in ribs, and then we got that call in pork, and then it was up for the brisket. And my brisket I was a little questionable on because it was altitude, and the thermometer probe and the feel was, I had to cook it straight on feel, not on temperature, right? Like just I had to know that the mark was there, and I thought I might have been a little bit tight, but the judges ended up liking it, man. And when all the pieces fell and when all the chips fell, it was legitimately just it was Machete Boys BBQ on top, man, and it was the greatest feeling in the world. There was nothing like it because I had worked so hard to get
there. Man, the diversity you had to put up with, the weather, being in a different time zone, being like out of your elements, out of the Midwest, kind of.
Yep.
Well, in the Midwest, can we say that?
Yeah.
Man. And then think about though, you didn't know the judges. So is it important that you know the flavors, like, or do you run a straight recipe, or do you adapt to, like, okay, I'm in Iowa, they love sweet, they love cotton candy sweet as gold, they love that Tootsie Roll in Iowa.
I don't know that always works, man. But I definitely the way that I roll, man, is I try to make good barbecue, and I think that good barbecue will win anywhere. There are little pockets in the United States where, yes, you do need to kick up your flavor a little bit more, where they're perhaps expecting a little bit more smoke. And if you can add those extra elements, that might help you push that scoring range. I don't know how familiar your audience is with the KCBS scoring range, but it goes from 1 to 9. 9 being the best I ever had, 1 being inedible, right? They are disqualified, and they don't usually give out 1s, right? And it's in that range somewhere. But to really win competitions, you need to get as many 9s as possible. And I play with my flavors a little bit, but usually the base profile is the same, and it might be something as simple as me just, letting that pork, because I cook on drum smokers, letting that pork, more of that fat hit on the charcoal, so it's creating more smoke and getting a little bit more smoky flavor in there, things of that nature.
Okay. Why do you cook on drum smokers? Now, you just said, because I cook on drum smokers. Now, you just can't say stuff like here without explaining to the audience of TNT Barbecue. You just can't say stuff like that. Now, I know we're going down a rabbit hole, but let's get down this rabbit hole.
Okay, so let me clarify, but I'll cook on anything. If I can put a fire in it, I can cook in it, right? We can dig a hole in the ground, we'll make it happen. But the reason that I use drum smokers for competition is because I'm in Minnesota. There are only a handful of contests that are close, and cooking on a drum smoker allows me to cook a small footprint which means I don't have to buy a bigger trailer, which means I don't have to spend more gas, which means from the economical standpoint, I can cook more contests throughout the year because at the end of the day, this is not a cheap game. You know, you can look at spending $8,000 to $1,000 between meat and contest entry fees and gasoline, and if you got to stay at a hotel, you know, those things add up quickly. So for me, it's all about economics. But drum smokers are absolutely, if you're out there and you're thinking that you want to make the hop from an electric smoker or a pellet smoker to a smoker that is over a live fire, I think that a drum smoker, you know, lends itself to someone learning how to manipulate a fire to get the desired results that you need. And when you can achieve that on a drum smoker, you feel, you know, you feel accomplished. And there are a lot of teams that are out there that are very successful. In fact, the guy that won both, not only the Invitational last year, but also the American Royal Open, back to back, never happened on history, cooks on drums, man. And the, you know, they're just very simple machines and they're inexpensive, and it's a great way to get into the sport of barbecue. It's a great way to cook great barbecue in your backyard. That's why I love them. I mean, I have 5 of them.
Wow. Hashtag drum smokers.
Hot and fast, baby.
Yeah. UDS. So you say hot and fast. Now you got a brisket cook on YouTube. I love that brisket cook.
Which one are you talking about? Because I got a couple of them out there.
Yeah, I'm talking about what you did.
And there's the A9 Wagyu brisket point that I did recently.
Yes, that brisket point video. I loved that.
Yeah.
I'm referring to your first video I seen. Not seen, but the drum smoker. That video was amazing. Now, question I ask you. Hey look guys, y'all know me. You better ask questions.
I think I saw a question come by that somebody asked if I own a restaurant. And right now I do not own a restaurant. You know, I'm still in a mode of trying to build my band and build a presence and get myself monetized on YouTube so that I can get into the cater game a little bit, because, you know, everything costs a little bit of money. And, you know, I'd like to fund that using that, some of that YouTube money.
Hey, that means, guys, y'all know what y'all got to do. Comment, subscribe, go over there and check him out. His link is right there. We need to, look, if you're watching this video after hours, because a lot of people watch my videos afterwards, my analytics tell me that. Y'all need to go there and subscribe to his channel. Let's make his channel grow. Because let me tell you something, the more his channel grow, the more you can squeeze out of him. He's not going to go and hey, look, you don't need no classes. You don't need a master class. You can watch it for free. So the more you get to subscribe to the channel, the more he feel obligated to get him secrets up. He gonna be obligated. Hey, y'all give him, y'all make his channel grow. He obligated to doing what he do. Look, guys, y'all know I got Uncle Sid in the house. Uncle Sid.
I see him back there. What's up, Sid?
How y'all doing?
Uncle Sid in the house. Y'all already know. Hey, he Uncle Sid approved.
Yeah, but I mean, you bring up an interesting comment about my YouTube channel, right? I'm just getting started. I think I got about 20 videos out there. I'm just starting to get into my own developing flow. And the thing I didn't know about the YouTube game is it's easy to create a video, but it is 10 times as hard to edit a video to make sure that it flows well, that it looks good. And I am, to say the nice way, perfectionist. So you have encouraged me for years to just put it out there.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
You got to. Hey, I can do it for you. Machete Boys BBQ on the drum all the time. Drum cooking. Yeah. We got 20 drums. And we're going to cook it every last one of them. We got 80 slabs of ribs on drums.
I've done that. That ain't fun, man. I've done 80 slabs of ribs on drums. That's a long night. But, you know, with my YouTube channel, my goal is to educate people and to help grow the community. You know, I'd really like to use that as a forum to talk about barbecue, where barbecue's going, what problems people are having in their backyard. You know, I'd like to be a resource for people, you know, a blessing to people who we want people to come to the house and experience great food and enjoy something and be that guy that's like, hey, when you cook it out again, you know what I mean? Can I bring the potato salad? We all know we're gonna tell him no, but he can come over, right? So that's I just want to help people. Yeah.
I have people that when I'm home.
Yes.
Yeah. What you cooking? When you cooking? Can I bring over some?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't want to be the potato salad guy. You want to be the meat guy.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You and Dave, when they ask you to come over, Dave, they say, "Hey, Dave, I know you're gonna bring the pork chops, the rib, the chicken. You may get stuck with all the money, but they want if you bring a salad dish over, they mad as hell. Like, come on, man! I thought you were gonna bring the meat."
Yeah, I mean that's for sure. But you know, we have a place here in Minneapolis, and I like to host a lot. So when I'm home, and especially in the summertime, you know, I'm always cooking and having people over, so that way they can taste food. And you know, it's a great opportunity for people who are just getting into barbecue to ask me questions, and to where I can help them. Right, like there's a backyard guy that last weekend I was just, or 2 weekends ago, I was just ups in. At the barbecue store, and he knew that I was coming up there, so he got in touch with me because he wanted to learn how to cook a competition brisket. Right, and I spent the whole day with my guy, you know, teaching him everything that I knew, and you know, he walked away with some good lessons. And to me, it's always great to see when someone comes back and they start sending you pictures of their food, and you've seen their food before they sent you pictures, and you can see that change and know that you affected that change, man. That's always amazing.
All right, so Dave, can you do one thing for me?
Yeah.
Could you just give us a little nugget? Like if I'm coming to you and I'm just ignorant with a barbecue, I'm just like ignorant to the way where I think barbecue is sauce. You know how some people come to you like, oh, you gonna barbecue it? Oh, you just gonna add sauce to it? You know, I'm that guy. I'm that girl. I'm that person. I'm that pronoun. So what would you say to me to make me see somewhat the light?
The way, you know, I think the hardest thing people have learning when they're getting into barbecue is they have learning a hard time learning what tender is. And if you can learn what tender is, like what a tender rib looks like, what a tender rib smells like, what a tender rib feels like, um, and that's the same for pork, for chicken, for everything. That's going to make your barbecue night and day difference, right? And understanding that those nuances between when a chicken is done and when a chicken is really done and it's perfect, is really going to make your barbecue go from okay to exceptional, right? And understanding that everything that you add in barbecue, all down to the wood, is a spice, right? Like you need to use it like salt and pepper. Like too many times I've had barbecue that's been over smoked, and it's because you know they have subscribed to the theory that they need to soak wood chips for 12 hours before they throw it onto a hot fire, and it just smolders, and they got this nasty dirty smoke piling out of there that's just piling up on their food. Man, if you can grasp a couple of those little concepts, I think it would take your barbecue game to really to the next level, right? And you know, I try to teach a little bit of that, especially when I'm cooking bigger meats on the YouTube channel that I have, just to try to explain that. Some of that's tough to explain through video, but you know, really in the classes, in person classes, I try to nail that.
Hey, you know, it's hard to explain fire management. I'm still trying to show people fire management on video. All I can say is, look at the clean smoke. Look at the clean smoke.
Well, you can't see it.
You can't hardly see it. You know, it's clean. It's blue. It's thin. You know, what I found when it comes to barbecue, it is hard to change somebody when they think that they're doing right and they're really doing wrong. I'm talking about like it's better off telling them that they're not a mermaid when they think they're a mermaid. You better off convincing a horse that it's not a horse than convince somebody that they're doing barbecue the wrong way. When I had a guy tell me, "You see that smoke? It's white, it's thick. got this good smoke flavor. I'm looking at him like, okay, like this gonna be a W today. This gonna be an easy W. I'm not pulling out the tricks and trade. I'm keeping those in the bag. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, you got somebody out here that got grand champion in the pro league. He's not out there like me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did a couple KCBS, but I got out of it quick because I understood that I wanted to be in the concession game. I wanted to be where people come and get good barbecue. But this man is doing it in the pro league. He's out there getting grand champions. You need to subscribe to his channel because I'm telling you what, he's gonna drop them nuggets. He got to. He got to. He got to. Hey, he got to because he out there winning. The success. Now we talk about the first grand champion. It never get old. So the same enthusiasm, the same motivation. We need to hear about the second grand champion because you know what? The way you tell the story, I felt like I was there with you. I was like, yes, 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 yes.
So that second one, believe it or not, came 2 weeks later, man. And I'm not lying to you. We took a trip to Wisconsin. We finished in like the top 5 of Wisconsin. I went back to South Dakota, and that one was a little weird because then I wasn't. I was smelling myself a little bit, I guess, as a young people would say. So somebody asked me, they're like, "Man, you drove all the way out to South Dakota again?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't drive out here to lose." And you know what? At the end of the day, we were on top again, man. But Steve said it right there. Winning never gets old. I love winning. I've cooked 3 this year already. I've got 1 top 5 finish, a few top 10 calls, but I haven't found my GC yet, right? So I'm getting back after it next weekend. But that second one was just as special as the first one, right? And I went back out and did it again the weekend after that and finished 3rd place in Iowa, right? So, I definitely think that I put together a program that can be successful.
You said you finished in 3rd place in Iowa?
Yeah, they hate me in Iowa, man.
No. Let's go down that rabbit hole for 1 second. How they hate you in Iowa? Hey, they love TNT in Iowa. Uncle Steve, they love T in Iowa. How they hate T? How they hate T family member? That's Cuzzo. That's Cuzzo. Hey, hold on. That's Cuzzo.
Over there.
That's Cuzzo.
Iowa is just it's a different beast, man. I think it's because it touches so many states and you get so many judges from so many places that a table can be a mixture of different people and their taste buds are different. Right?
Hey, brother, what I told you about Iowa from the beginning, they want candy. You need to start getting that candy. It need to be sweeter than cotton candy. That heat won't win in Iowa. That sweet will take it all.
My stuff's gotten pretty sweet since we had that conversation, T. But I mean, if I put it any sweeter, I might as well just take the meat out there and throw a Hershey bar in the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, that's what I'm talking
about. But it's I don't know. Iowa's been good to me. I've got my first 180, which is a perfect score. I got that in Iowa, which is pretty cool. A couple of years ago, right? And chicken, actually, no doubt. Which I was struggling with when I met you, and you told me some crazy story about spritzing it with grenadine and vinegar. I tried that. That didn't work. I'm gonna tell you right now, it worked for me.
Oh, pork butt, it works. Grenadine and vinegar on pork butts. It works. It turns it red. It gets the color. Of course, you got to have that TNT. I got to say TNT mop sauce on that thing.
I feel you, yeah. I can't do the mop sauce on the drum though. That those coals don't like all that extra moisture, right? And we get that dirty smoke that we were just talking about, right? I tried it didn't work, but yeah, man. So the grenadine was for the pork, not the chicken. So that was definitely my fault. But I was also drinking. I've been sober for 3 years. Like shortly after we had met, I got sober, right? And I definitely, I probably misheard that fact, right? Because I'd had 1 or 2 when we had first met and were talking. You know what I mean? So
just to clear it up, you can look at TNT videos. T never put grenadine on the chicken.
I'm gonna have
T
to go
put the
back.
grenadine on the pork. I spritzed the pork butt with the grenadine and apple cider vinegar to make it turn that red color. Because when they wanted that red color. But I tell you what, I tasted some of your barbecue when you was in Mason City, and I thought, man, this dude can cook. Like you understand? I'm that dude. I'm that dude that would spit your food out at a competition and hurt your feelings. Like I ain't finna swallow your stuff. This is horrible. I ain't finna get sick. Not T. Cause I got food poisoning for being nice.
Yeah.
And I told myself again, I'm not getting food poisoning for being nice, nasty. I'm gonna eat it and then I'm gonna come on and talk about you. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna talk about you in your face, but I'm also gonna tell you how to get better. And how to get better is go over and subscribe to my put some ones in the channel if you subscribe to my boy channel. If you subscribe to Cuzzo channel, Dave channel, Machete Boys BBQ, put some ones in the chat. Miss Scott, I'm telling you, I gotta tell the truth to shame the devil. Uncle Said got me like that. Uncle Said got me like that. It's not my fault. But Ken folk, Uncle Said say quit lying on people. That stuff was horrible. I ain't gonna get. I got food poisoning because I was trying to be nice. I did. I got food poisoning for trying to be nice, Uncle Steve. I love Uncle Steve. Hey guys, go check out Uncle Steve's Shake, guys. If you're not, check out Uncle Steve's Shake. Hey Dave, you ever tried some Uncle Steve's Shake before?
I haven't, man. You know, I haven't been very good at getting more involved with the YouTube community. I got so much going on. I need to be more involved, right, and reach out to some more of the concrete creators and the guys out there that are putting that product out.
Hey, let me tell you something. Uncle Steve, when it comes to Texas and when it comes to all over the country, he is a proud supporter of any barbecue people, and he does it right. Uncle Steve is a great resource. I'm tell you what, I love Uncle Steve. He treated me like fan when I went down to Houston, Texas. He took me and the wife out and everything. But Dave, when you come to Iowa next time, you get time, me and you got to hang out, brother. We got to hang out. Hey, so you told me about the second win. Win never gets old. You told me about how we met. Now, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. What's your favorite food to cook?
My favorite food to cook, absolutely, is just a steak. I enjoy a good steak, man. There's nothing like a good steak, and it could be any kind of steak, right? I'm really on picanha steaks right now.
Oh, me and you are both. I need to come to Minnesota. You're not that far, cuz. I come to eat a good picanha.
You bet. I was just telling you, I got that asado grill now, so I can't wait to get some picanha fired up on it. But I've been working a lot with a Minnesota beef producer here who's raising a Wagyu cross beef, and he's been sending me samples when he gets his cuts back. And, I'm excited to get some more picanha thrown down. But any kind of steak, man, that's what I love cooking the most.
Hey, it's called a cooler. Cooler steak.
I can't
the cooler, or either top sirloin cap. Top sirloin cap.
I know about that.
Yeah, in the cooler steak. Hey, Dave. He said, "Get with me."
Yeah.
Hey, get with him.
I'm gonna get with him. I'm coming after you, Steve. I'll find you.
Yes. Hey, let me tell you something. That competition cow cover, leave that alone unless you want to win. If you want to win, mess with him. But if you don't want to win, if you want to win on a brisket, that competition cow cover. No, it's the cow cover. It's called Lucky Cow. I love it. Lucky Cow. I love it. Lucky Cow cover. I love it.
Fantastic.
Yes. Hey, I'm a seasoning. I like seasonings, but respect is due with Uncle Steve. He'll beast with it. Y'all go over there and subscribe to Machete Boys BBQ, man. Lucky Shake. There go Lucky Shake. Lucky Shake. Yes, sir. Uncle Steve, Lucky Shake. Go over there and subscribe to my boy. I'm telling you what. So we talk about drum smokers. We talk about this. Okay, what do you see yourself? I'm like an interview. What do you see yourself in the next 5 years, Dave?
So I'm gonna be honest with you, T. I probably have turned down like 10 catering requests this year. Um,
Okay.
I I cater for people that I know and family and things like that. But I'd like to explore starting a catering business and seeing if I can grow that into a fair business. The thing about barbecue is I have so much love for it and so much passion for it. I don't think it's something I would want to do every day, but it is something that I would enjoy if I could cook, one or two scale events a month, and kind of make it an experience, just for a select crowd, right? So you have to pay for that experience, but it would be an experience unlike any other that you've ever had, right? So I'm really working hard at building my brand and perfecting my craft, and I believe that I could really offer a unique barbecue experience to a specific clientele here in Minnesota or across the United States. If I was blessed enough to get that big, and that would be really great, man. And just to build something that could to leave the legacy, would be awesome.
Hey, not the cheapest, but the best.
You bet.
Not the cheapest, but the best.
You bet.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So look, guys, right there, he want to shake his hand, and when you said something in the beginning, you was talking about your grandparents and how your grandmama enjoyed cooking, your granddad enjoyed cooking. You know, we're talking about that generational stuff, okay? Like for instance, when you talk about oxtails, you know and I know back in the day, you get oxtails for what? They give them jokers away, Holly. But now you go to the store to get an oxtail, you got to take out a second mortgage, right?
Pretty much.
So my question to you is, how much that takes you back when you go to cooking? Like when you go to cooking, do you remember those good old days? Like, is it something Is it like a nuance of just revelation of like, man, this brings me back here, or is that just me?
No, that's not just you, T. I'm gonna tell you something. Is my grandfather, like most people down in rural, they all made their own sauce. They all had their own sauce, right? And I can remember very, very vividly when I was a child, my grandfather cooking out and just having the smell of the smoke and the way he was putting down the flavors and layers of flavors and just the finished product that came out there. My grandmother would tell you that when she bit into the meat, it was so good it make you want to eat the bone, right? I don't think my barbecue has gotten to that point, right? But I feel like that's where I want to get, is that the barbecue that I'm creating is so delicious that people they can't get enough of it. They just want to keep eating it like a bag of Doritos, just consume it. And I vividly remember my grandfather's barbecue being that way, and that's something that I'm always working towards. And I wish he would have left that. He's not with us anymore. I wish he would have left that sauce recipe, but he took it with him, man. He took it with him.
Hey Dave, your cousin is here. You can eat the bones all day. Your cousin here, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, your cousin here. When you feel like getting that experience back, when you want to eat some bone, come holler at your cousin with that mouth sauce with TNT barbecue.
I hear you.
Love you, bro. Love you, cuz.
Yeah.
But that is, look, guys. When he refers to Royal, I got a barbecue sauce coming out called Royal Gold. And when he talks about Royal, you got to understand the heritage this man has. It's in his blood, because I just find it not a ironic, not a mistake, not a coincidence, but it was like a kind of it was a meeting. It was like a meeting because we were seeing each other. I was like, okay, who this guy is right here? He pulled in. He with the competition world. You know what I'm saying? Me, I got out of the competition world because I was tired of winning. But really, like, I felt like, I'd rather make some money and I hit at the right time. And when I seen you, it was like inspirational kind of. I was like, okay, it's a brother from Minnesota. And then when I tasted your cue, I was like, okay, And then I seen his the people he had with you, your team. That really impressed me because you had some great team members. You had people, even though you was the pitmaster, they was there with you. They were like, they weren't with you, but they were with you. That
Yep.
means like they was like family.
Yep.
You had the winning success. Cause when I was in the barbecue game, it was just me and my wife.
Yep.
And it was more like a dictatorship. Like she was my cheerleader, but I was Fidel Castro. I was Putin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was Putin and she was my people to rule over. So she was my sous chef and I was a Gordon Ramsay. But to me, it sounded like everybody was your cheerleader. They was like, not a cheerleader, what's the word I'm looking for? They were just like so happy to see you go. They wanted you to win. They wanted you to succeed. And that was so, and that made me know that you a good guy. You that dude. You're a great guy. Cause only time when people get behind you like that, that means that people don't get behind bad guys like that. They get behind great guys the way your team was behind you. And that meant a lot to me. I noticed that. Love you, honey. I noticed that so much, and that means a lot. So you getting a great dude on your team. I'm telling you, go on the Machete Boys BBQ, man, because he's not just a competition cook, but he's a great person. Dad, husband, everything. So we talk about barbecue. Tell us something personal about you. Tell us about personal about who you are. I know you're a pit master. I know you're an award-winning pit master. Now tell you two, who is Dave?
Man, first and foremost, I'm a partner and a father, right? Those are, just last night we were sitting and we were talking, and she was asking me what was the thing that I was the most proud of, because we've been in this house for a year, and I told her, the thing that I'm most proud of is that we are working to build this into a home for our little girl, right? And growing up, I didn't have, I had my grandfather, but I didn't have my dad. You got to excuse me because it's a little bit emotional, but that was a motivational for me to be an exemplary man for my daughter, so that not only she can find a man when she grows up that is a good person, but also to be a good father, man, because I didn't have that. So that's who I want to be first, as a good father and a good partner. And that's every day. That's everything that I do. I keep that at the top of my mind, man. That's where I want to be.
It is a blessing. Like when I found out that he was family, I'm talking like y'all understand, like this was crazy, guys. Like
Mason City,
we
Iowa,
in
man.
North Iowa, not Northeast Iowa, but North Iowa on the Minnesota line. You had Austin, Minnesota. You had Mason City, right?
Yep.
And we had a barbecue competition. I'm selling barbecue, and I'm gonna tell you, Dave, that was the best day of barbecue I ever had. That's one of the best days of barbecue I ever had in my life for selling barbecue. I made more money at that competition than all the other vendors combined. And they had vendors for all over, right, Dave?
Yep, they sure did, man. I remember that day.
I got a grand champion in that barbecue bending event. I made more money. I had to go do a money drop
Yeah.
because I'm gonna get robbed. I mean, God is good. But
Yeah.
but the point I'm trying to say is this, guys. Meeting him was, I would trade all that money because I met him. He made my trip. Cause I have a family member that's right there in Minnesota. Even though we don't see each other, but when I'm in Minneapolis, I give you a call. And you're like, hey
Yep.
man, I'm busy. I'm at the you the vice president or the president?
I was the vice president of the barbecue society. I think we were having our banquet that weekend.
And
Yeah,
you
they
made
came.
time for me and my wife when all that going on. You made time for me and my wife to come up and see you and your wife and just have a conversation together. God, this is the person that you get. You don't just get a competition cook that you get actually Dave. And a lot
Yeah,
of
man.
people don't have that. A lot of people one day they're this way, next day they're this way, Next day they just wait. They like to win. They back and forth. But to get a genuine person, guys, that make time for his cousin he just met and say, come on through. We at the hotel room. We over here. We doing this. Why you have all that stuff going on? Dave, I love you, but I don't know if I would answer the phone. I'd be like, swipe left. I call him back.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm busy. I call you right back. No, I wouldn't know, but probably, I don't know. Probably would have had all that going on what you did. But when you made time for me, guys, that meant a lot to me because I get anxiety when I'm in Minnesota because I can't keep my pistola with me because Minnesota got goofy rules. But they want to burn down everything, but then you can't keep your pistol with you. Only two people get guns: the police and the criminals. So that makes me kind of get anxiety. But besides that, it was good that he made time for me and my wife, and that meant a lot to me because it just made my wife feel more comfortable that we just had somebody that was there. Cause we were up there doing the
You guys are on your anniversary, right?
Nope. Yeah, we'll do my wife's birthday.
That's what it was.
And it was the Kavanaugh hearings. It was during the same time where the George Floyd stuff was going on. They were burning up Minneapolis, and we booked the hotel room. Being in Iowa, just oblivious to what was going on in the country. We drive to Minnesota. And I'm like, why is all this barbed wire all over the place? Why do our hotel room got boards on it? No, even worse. Why we only paid $88 a night for this nice hotel room?
No, but T, I'll tell you why I like that, man, is because I want somebody to be that same way for me. You know what I mean? So especially when it comes to family, and like even though we are extended family, we still, you're still my brother. I want to make sure that I'm there for you, right? And I wasn't always the person that I am today, right? It took a lot of growth to get here. But I want to make the smallest action I can to be the man that I want to be, right? And part of that is just like winning competition barbecue. To win competition barbecue, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent in life too, as well, right? So that's something that I try to show up every day to be consistent, no matter what I'm doing, man. Whether it's barbecue, whether it's being a dad, at my day job, whatever it is, I just be consistent, right? So that you can be dependable and people know that they can count on you. When they need you, right, and that they can be there, right. So, again, something I didn't have when I was growing up, right. So I think I'm just trying to embody that person that I thought I needed in my life when I was younger, and that's what it's about. You muted again. I think you're on mute, T.
So I keep posting this because the more y'all subscribe to the channel, the more I can steal secrets. The more the more he can drop nuggets on us, man. I'm telling you, you got to subscribe. I'm telling you, man, because I know that he know a lot, and he's skimming. He's skimming a little bit because he don't want to let it all out because he know once I go, I'm going to go, because you can't play with it. So let me tell you something. Go and subscribe. Uncle Steve say, get with him, Dave.
You bet. I'm going to do it, man. I got my notes right here. I'm going to hit it right as soon as we're done.
And let me tell you something, guys. When you comment, go check out that brisket cook, and go check out that pastoral. It's a pastor hamburger. Is it called pastor?
Al Pastor smash burger. I just did that one last week.
Look, man, I was like, how you gonna do this? I wasn't even hungry. I'm on a diet. What you doing cooking stuff? Look, man, what you doing cooking like that, man? Hey. Miss Scott said.
Miss Scott, thank you.
Hey, Miss Scott, I'm telling you, getting this old country boy. I know you from Seattle, right, Miss Scott? You from Seattle, right? Mrs. Scott. I can't pronounce the name. I think it's Tawana.
I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna go with Miss Scott.
Miss Scott. So I know she from over there on the west north side of the country, but you gonna get some down home southern competition barbecue. And question action. Besides doing competition, you're gonna tell the common person how to cook a brisket, right? Without trimming it down like that.
You bet, man. That's coming, right? Well, not next. Actually, if I were to give you a preview of my schedule, what I got coming up on YouTube.
Okay.
So next Monday there'll be a pizza video. I was up at the store and we tried out some Napoleon pizzas, so we got a pizza video on a pellet smoke coming out. I'll have it soon. After that,
okay, hold on for a second. You said pellet smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, you keep going on these rabbit holes. I'm gonna have to ask questions. What's your thoughts on pellet smokers?
I don't care what it is. If you can put a fire in it and get clean fire, I'll cook something for you. I don't care what it is. Bring it on. What you got?
Hey, it must be a royal thing, because I'm not. I tell everybody, I'm not loyal to any smoker. I'm not loyal. It must be a Florida thing, because I'm not loyal.
Yeah.
If it got a fire and I can make it clean, we gonna cook it.
Yeah, let's put something on it.
We gonna put something on it.
Yep. So we got that pizza that's coming out. And then I filmed that interaction with the gentleman who was wanting some competition pointers on the brisket. So there'll be a competition brisket video coming. And then this weekend I'm going to do an appetizer video with my daughter. I think we're going to do pigs in a blanket. And then I'm also going to do some Greek sobaka meat skewers with a tzatziki sauce and some naan bread on that new Argentinian gaucho style. So that's going to probably push us out to about June, and then we'll have some other things happening.
That was me echoing. I'm sorry.
We gotta get you a headset.
So I have to get one. I keep losing them. I lose headsets like I change draws, and they be expensive. I ain't gonna lie, I need to stop. Hey, now when you talk about that open fire pit, I'm thinking about that tzatziki sauce, man. What date you gonna do that video? I would love to be a test. What day you gonna do? No, I want to be there Picanha Day, cause I went down to downtown Minneapolis and I ate at the Brazilian steakhouse. What is it called again? Something.
Fogo de Chao.
Poco de Chao. I went to Poco de Chao, Brazilian steakhouse. It was good. It was good. But I know you can make better.
Oh, it's gonna be on fire.
When are you doing that video? Because if I'm gonna travel 160 miles, I want some good picanha. And are you gonna use that crossbreed picanha?
So ideally that would be what's happening, but he's in the middle of calving right now, so I don't know what his calendar looks like when he's gonna be able to get more Wagyu cross from me. But I know where I can get some A9 picanha from. I order lots of my A9 briskets out of Pensacola, Florida. They got some picanhas down there for sure. I could get up here to Minnesota. But before I do picanha, actually, did you have the lamb lollipops when you were at Fogo de Chao?
Yes, I did, and I didn't like them. I don't like lamb. I know Jesus loved lamb, but I didn't like lamb. No disrespect, Jesus, but I didn't like lamb. I'm sorry. It just. If I wanted a deer pissing in my mouth or a lamb pissing in my mouth, I'll eat that. I don't know if I had mutton. Somebody told me that was mutton, not lamb. But whatever I had, it was very funky. And it just turned me off. And the taste is stuck in my mouth. So I would not achieve to smoke lamb.
Okay. Well, when you come up here, we got to put some top round cap on, some lamb, and whatever else you're feeling. I'll let you make the potato salad.
Hey, Hey, look, I got pride in my potato salad. I don't mind being a side guy.
Yeah. But no, lots of cool things happening on the YouTube channel, man. It's just finding the time to do it right. I'm getting into my busy season here. I've got one contest in May, so I got a lot of time to shoot some content. And usually I try to shoot those on like a Friday or a Sunday, depending on the weather here in Minneapolis and time and soccer schedules and ballet and all the stuff my daughter's doing. And then, it's editing is just the bulk of it, right? So I'm going to try and get a bunch of videos cooked and things cooked and in the pipeline so that I can try and hit that YouTube algorithm because it kind of burns you a little bit. You're inconsistent. So.
Hey, Dave, I'm going to be honest with you. People love long videos. I'm going to be honest with you. I love sitting down and watching your pretty face, Dave, and watching long videos. I know you think short is the way, but long is the way. Don't be editing the hell out of videos. We want to see you, we want to hear you, because the more you talk, the more nuggets. Seriously, barbecue people is different than any other algorithm on YouTube.
Yeah.
Cooking is totally different. Cooking videos, they want it wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But barbecue video, we want you playing some Luther in the background. And we need 4 songs. We need barbecue love for 4 songs.
Wait, that's a Luther song. That's like 80 minutes of video.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, I want you to say my.
Oh man, I don't know if I could. The thing is that the reason I edit them that way is because I edit things the way that I would like to watch them, right? And I feel what you're saying, and I have noticed that video, like a lot of the longer videos have more views, right? So I've tried to make my videos longer, but I get to rambling, man, and I just cut all that out. Just get delivered, concise content.
We love rambling. We know barbecue people ramble. Get out of your mind and get into teaching, because doing that rambling, you're gonna drop them nuggets. I have learned so much from people, and I met the big YouTubers. I'll never forget. I met this big YouTuber, and he was like, "Hey man, I did a lot of rambling, and the thing he rambled about is what I learned the most." And I told him that, and he was like, "What? Oh, you caught that? I ain't want nobody to catch that." I'm like, "Yeah," because you was talking off the, and it to me, he was like, "Keep that a secret." And next thing you know, I come back, he done edit the video and then repost it again.
Yeah.
But it's more people than me are watching the video. That's like me and Uncle said. I'll post a video, and the people that do watch me, their watch hours are like 60%. The people that don't watch me, it's like 30% of watch time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the analytics tells the story. We gonna barbecue people, Dave, gonna love you. They got to love you because you are who you are. And I'm telling you, you a nugget. You one of those diamonds in the rough. And I ain't say that because you're McKinfolk. I ain't say that because you're Cuzzo. I'm telling you because it's truth, and God loves the truth.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I'll try to ramble a little bit more and see if I can't drop a couple more nuggets, man. But it's hard. I got to clean it up. It's just I can't just let it go, man. I guess I don't know. I'll see what I can do.
All right, appreciate that, because I believe, in my opinion, that sometimes look, some people learn stuff from me, but I think most people they want to see what the hell T up to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what a lot of YouTube going to, because if you want to find how to cook a brisket, it's so many people that's cooking briskets out there on YouTube. It's like it gets kind of like okay, aerodynamic, until sometimes when you get somebody and you just be like, you know what? The difference between this guy and this guy is a nice guy, and this guy is not a nice guy.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I hear
so
you. That's definitely, I read a lot,
but
right?
but one thing about you and me, great people. We from Royal. We
There's
from
nothing
Royal.
like it.
We can't have it. We from Royal.
Yeah.
We just who we are. You know what I'm saying? And Dave, he grew up and he moved around the country. So that's one thing I like about you because you have culture. You done lived in Minneapolis. You done lived in Royal. You done lived all over this beautiful world. So tell me, what is your best cuisine? Like, what do you like eating more than anything? And don't say barbecue, because if you say barbecue, I'm gonna jump through the screen. I'm gonna jump through the screen on you.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't eat my barbecue because I'm so sick of it. Right. But lately I've been cooking a lot of Indian food. We've been doing a lot of butter chicken at home because the little girl seems to like that. And when I made that birria taco video, right, with today being Cinco de Mayo, if you haven't checked that out, that's something you should check out. But I noticed that when you take a look at cultures and how they put together those kind of stewed meats, that a lot of those flavor bases and a lot of those processes are the same, right? So that's why after I made that beer, I was like, oh, this kind of seems like it might be a good base for curry. So I kind of turned that into a chicken curry that I kind of made like a butter curry, right? And we've been digging on that just because I got so much chicken that's left over from competition, right? Just different ways to use that. And other than that, we are a simple people too. Like just sometimes it's just a good cheeseburger and some tater tots. That's it.
Hey, stop for a second. Did you say birria tacos?
Oh yeah.
And you didn't call your cousin? No, look, guys. Sometimes you gotta call people out. This man said beer taco and then called Cuzzo. I'm right here in Iowa. But he already done judged the Iowa people talking. Iowa don't love me. Iowa don't love me. I don't get no love in Iowa. And Dave, I bet you go out on a roll, you'll kick a mug over somebody with that barbecue on today.
Oh man, dude, you should. Family is begging for me to come down there to Florida, man, and I'm gonna try and make it happen. Probably not next year, the year after they have that Lakeland Pig Fest, right? And try to see if we can't get all the fam out there and turn that place upside down, like only rural Wildwood can do, and make it happen. So awesome.
Dave, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm gonna have to come on Father's Day, minus the pistols. Look, y'all. We grew up in Royal, Florida, and they have something called Father's Day weekend.
I ain't messing with that, man.
Look, Dave say he ain't messing with it. But Dave, when we went there, when we was younger, it wasn't like that. No. Now it's like the Freaknik of Florida. It's bad.
The damn state show up in there. They got Florida is like what? It's a small place, man. They got all this like the whole state now. I've seen videos on. Can't do it.
My anxiety go through the roof, Dave, when I see Father's Day. I'm like, that's wrong. What?
You and I both, man.
Hey,
we can cuddle up together with a blanket somewhere.
Hey, what is 50,000 people doing in Royal?
I got no idea, man. But it definitely is. It's definitely different for sure. But I see some chat happening about that lamb, right? One of the rubs that I'm going to try on lamb that I know that's pretty good is from Sterling, who's with Boot and Booty Barbecue. He has a rub that's called Jolly Roger. That's actually a charcoal. It's a coconut. It's made from coconut husk instead of charcoal. It's a black.
Hey, put in the chat. Put in the chat, Dave.
But if you are thinking about, I can't. How do I even get into it? So you have to excuse me because I haven't used. I could send a private chat, but that's only to people in the studio. Yeah, I can't put anything in the chat. See, you on mute again. You're on mute again, T.
Put it in the private chat, brother. Put it in the private chat, and I'll copy and paste because I don't type like that. You're a fast typer. I'm a slow pecker. Yeah. My day job is telling people what not to do.
Yeah, man. But I want to thank you for giving me this platform today, and thank everyone for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the big screen. Yeah. Can we talk about that? Not yet.
Man, yeah, we can talk about it. Yes, yes, yes. So everybody know I'm gonna be on American. Well, it's not American no more. It's just Barbecue Showdown. I'm gonna be on Barbecue Showdown on Netflix, guys. I don't know who gonna win. I don't know what gonna happen, but all I know is I'm gonna be there, and it's gonna be the 26th of May. Drop it like it's hot. The 26th of May. Please, please watch your boy T, cause I'm gonna do my best to represent the good state of Florida and the good state of Iowa and all the barbecue guys out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say. So 26th of May, it's gonna be debuting. Watch every episode, and then we're gonna come back, and me and my cousin are gonna do another live around the 28th of that Monday, and we're gonna talk about the show. Okay, Dave?
Yeah, man. You know what we should do is we should get together and watch it together.
Oh man, that'll be amazing. Well, I got a party you come to on the 27th.
I have to check my calendar. It's the 27th of June.
No, May. May 27th. I'm having a party. I'm doing birria tacos. Beef cheeks, barbacoa. For real though,
you making jokes now? You serious?
No, for real. I got 50 pounds of beef cheeks that I done cleaned up and vacuum sealed that frozen, and I'm gonna go and put them on the old reverse flow smoker, and then I'm gonna put the bay leaf, the onions, the season. I'm gonna stew them down, and I'm gonna do Oaxaca cheese, and then for the birria, I'm doing Y'all know I can't talk, so I'm gonna try to pronunciate this stuff, okay? So I'm gonna do a wajita. I'm gonna do a wajita pepper with no seeds. I'm gonna do a chipotle pepper, a dried jalapeno with no seeds.
An ancho chili.
A rancho chili, and I'm gonna do another chili. It's not none of them ain't spicy because we're in Iowa. And then I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna take all the seeds out, and then I'm gonna steam them in hot water. Then I'm gonna put them in a blender. I'm gonna blend them up.
Wait a minute. This sounds like my recipe.
And then, hey, look, man, you can't help. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what they call it, shigging? I'm gonna be doing a little shigging. Hey, look, if y'all want to see, and this is what I need y'all to do. Go over to Machete Boys BBQ and check out his birria taco recipe. And if he can make it down, whether he make it down or not, y'all go check out that recipe. Cause let me tell you something, that birria taco, but you got to use Oaxaca cheese or Chihuahua.
I use Monterey Jack in that, right? Because I was making a quesadilla. So I melted the cheese and I put the beer on top, and that Monterey Jack, the melting point of that Monterey Jack is absolutely perfect. And like if you're talking about making a grilled cheese with Monterey Jack, not pepper jack, but Monterey Jack. You're in for a treat.
But what I don't understand is why not put the onion, cilantro, and relish in there when you fold it. Why you got to unfold it and stuff that inside? Me, I put it all in there at the beginning.
I sprinkle it on the top, man.
Look, it got to go in. It got to go in the beginning. If it ain't in the beginning, it don't make it. And you got to have that consomme. A consomme, you got to have a dipping sauce.
That's where all the flavors are.
So tune in on the 26th of May and watch your boy TNT on a Barbecue Showdown on Netflix. And hopefully I represent the people of YouTube well. And I love you. But Dave, could you end us with some final words? I'm not trying to sound like an old deacon, but you know how we did it in Raw.
Oh man, you put me on the spot. What's a good one? Love each other, feed each other good food, and enjoy life, man.
Hey, man. Look, that's all that need to be said. All right, guys, like I always say, God bless you and God bless America. And remember, Pray for our troops that's fighting for our freedom. Love y'all. Peace.